Just now there are more of them, right? That is super consciousness, now more serious souls come to the planet. And they personally choose themselves who to be born to. So the question is what to do, right? Just to be. Here's a person who, when such a child was born, was already initially in principle ready for this. So he already possesses a specific state, specific knowledge of the world, and his child will merely reconstruct it. And the main task of the parent in this matter is not to interfere. That is, not to be involved in raising a child from the perspective of, I know what's best for him. Because as we were raised, remember in childhood, they always imposed something on us, right? Parents knew what was best for us, where to go, what to do, and what activities to engage in. And now kids are born with more internal freedom, and they already have a clear sense of their desires. They just need help to unfold. Just listen to them, hear them, and help them to get into this freedom which is already present within them from the beginning. So these children will create a new reality with their field. They come for this purpose, to help this planet restructure. So here the question is more for the parents, not to interfere with their self-realization. And if you see that a child is different from his peers, then help him. Don't rush to a psychologist in panic, thinking that there is something wrong with my child, and try to fit him into some framework. But on the contrary, see great potential in it, see huge opportunities in it. I have a primary education. I have a primary education as a teacher, specifically preschool education, that is a completed pedagogical chair. I used to be a Methodist, I remember it now, and I saw very well this system of teaching children, how it is distorted, how much they impose on children what they don't really need. So there are already certain rules that we start functioning according to from childhood. In training, they are exactly the same. There is no such approach. You know, when a person simply develops creatively, this is really lacking in our kindergartens, in our schools. There, creativity is initially simply combed everything. A collective image is created as a whole. Our current task is to assist in revealing the uniqueness of a person, their unique creativity, which inherently holds deep meaning and significance. If parents recognize this potential, they will support him, making it easy to achieve. Let him even not know anything about the soul there. He just lives by instinct, by some feeling of conscience, by some state of his own, namely his own perception of the world. But he hears the child. He helps the child to manifest. This is the most important quality that adults should cultivate in themselves now. If they have already become parents, they take on a huge responsibility. And to lead such children into a new world, one must have a tremendous sense of self-awareness. Who are you? Own identity. What kind of person are you? What can you give to this world, to this child? And besides, it is very important to understand that these children really need love and care. You need to treat them very carefully. Because high-frequency souls, they have one problem. They are very sensitive, extraordinary sensitivity, which is incomprehensible to an ordinary person. I don't understand, right? So when we encounter such people, I mean, I'm telling you, as a super sensitive person, it's extremely difficult for me to live in this world. Yes, it's true. I've been saying from the start, it was very tough for me. When I interacted, it felt like I was always burnt something. I always had a sense of how they tried to influence you with passive aggression, how they tried to hurt you, and how their programs undermine you. And I've always been puzzled why it's so common in this world. Now, there will be more and more people like this, that is, being born with this feeling of hypersensitivity. Our task is simply to help them, not to interfere, not to press, not to suppress, not to turn them into crippled people, yes, whom we see in most cases traumatized, who cannot crawl out of these traumas later. They do not have enough resources for this, and they simply turn into biorobots. There are numerous people like that nowadays. I believe you're aware of it. I don't have to explain it to you.
Can you, at the very least, provide a few signs to help understand that this child is completely and utterly different from others?
They have a different perception of this world. They observe him based on their behavior. Firstly, they behave differently from the start. Someone calmer, initially there is a wisdom in the eyes. It will be visible. In this location, it is impossible not to notice. Then, when they start conversing, they always say things that completely shock parents. They say, like my child, yes, so little. He says reasonable things. These basics of reason, he already came with knowledge. Yes, he has this spiritual beginning, and he came ready to share. And therefore, it will not be possible to put it somewhere in some frames because it is already different. It already knows. It is already an old soul, which knows that freedom is the main thing, and the main thing is creative expression, unique. That's it. And he feels all this. He wants to be in unity with the world. He feels this world. He's unique, but at the same time, he doesn't stand out. He has an understanding that he wants to be on good terms with everyone. This state of his is impossible not to notice. It can be ignored. So you can see and pretend that something is wrong with him, or it just seemed to me. But that's already a concern for parents. It's impossible to miss these manifestations. They're bright and always highlight the child's non-standard nature.